Hey everyone. Thank you for selecting my tutorial to learn. I'm wholeheartedly welcome you to my channel, Gentle PSD. Today in this tutorial we will learn about how to create this modern artifact in Photoshop. We will start our tutorial with this inspirational quote. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Without any further ado, let's start. Create a new document. We will use the width as 1920 pixels and the height is 1080 pixels. Resolution is 300. Click Create. Create a new layer and change the foreground color in the color palette to dark gray. You can use the same color as I do by copying the hexadecimal number. Click OK. Now press Alt Backspace to apply the foreground color to the new layer. Double click on the new layer. It will bring the layer style window. We will add some pattern overlay. Make sure the size is 245% and the opacity is 90%. Click OK. Again, create a new layer. Take the rectangle marquee tool and drag a square by holding Shift and Alt. Change the foreground color to red. Press Alt Backspace to apply the foreground color to the new layer. Because of the selected marquee tool, our foreground will only apply to that selection. Now go to the Select menu and click Modify, then select the contract. Change the contract size to 55 pixels. Now we will add layer mask to our layer. By clicking this mask icon, click Ctrl I to invert the mask. Right click on the mask layer and select the Apply Layer Mask. Press Ctrl T to transform the layer and place it in the center using your arrow key. Double click on the layer to bring the layer style window. We will add drop shadow. Decrease the spread distance and size to 0. Now drag the drop shadow. Place it like this. This looks good for me. Make sure your opacity is 70%. And click OK. It's time to use our brush that I created. Link is in the description for everyone to download. Drag the paintbrush photo to the Photoshop and duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J. Now place the newly duplicated layer below our square layer. Select the paintbrush photo layer on the top and add the layer mask by clicking the layer mask icon. Now take your brush tool and change the hardness to 100%. Make sure your foreground color is black. Now start erasing the part that we want it to be below our square layer. That looks good for me. We will drag our paint splatter brush photo to the Photoshop. Apply the color overlay to the paint splatter brush photo layer so we can see it clearly. Add layer mask to the paint splatter brush photo. Now take your brush and make sure your foreground color is black. Start erasing the part that we don't need. Now group our paintbrush and paint splatter brush by shift clicking and press Ctrl G to group it. Right click on the group and select Convert to Smart Object. We will add our model photo by simply dragging it to the Photoshop. You can add your photo if you want. Now right click on the model photo and click create clipping mask. As you see, the model layer is only visible on the top brush layer. We will duplicate our model layer by pressing Ctrl J and place the newly duplicated layer below our square layer. Now right click on the layer and select create clipping mask. Double click on the bottom paintbrush layer and add drop shadow to it. Drag the drop shadow and place it as you wish. For me this looks good. Now click OK. We will do the same process to the top paintbrush layer. Now right click on the drop shadow effect and select create layer. It will bring that drop shadow to a complete new layer. Select the drop shadow layer and add the layer mask to it. We will start erasing the part we don't need our shadow. That looks good. You can hide the pattern overlay on your bottom layer if you want. We finally finished our modern art design in Photoshop. I really hope that you learned even a little throughout this process. If you did, I will be really happy. If you have any doubts, please feel free to comment. I will reply to it as soon as I can. If you like this tutorials, leave a like. It will make me happy. Don't forget to click the subscribe button for more gentle Photoshop tutorials. Until our next tutorial, stay happy. Thank you.